Whoa, sorry about that, everybody. Apparently, Twitch is not being the friendliest at the moment, but we're back. We're into round 7. It is going to be a fast bomb plant coming out from Renegades. Storm their way up. Banana, they get in. They're finding some frags here. They make it a 3-on-3 now. So it's going to be Hen 1, Bolts, and Showtime trying to get this retake. And they're finding all the frags that they need. And Tempo Storm will get the defuse. But luckily, Renegades, on that fast play into the B bomb site, ends up getting themselves that bomb plant. So they are recouping some of the money, considering they just forced up there.
Yeah, we didn't miss too much. It was just Tech 9 shenanigans, more or less, from Renegades. They had a brief man advantage. Actually, no, it was a man disadvantage, but they got the bomb down, so I guess we'll call it a positional advantage in the round. So not much to hype out there, but I'm sure Vansillia was more than willing to hop in and save the day with his patented type casting. And Azza with pistols, full eco now. A couple purchases off the better pistols, but not expecting them to be very deadly. Bolts peeking down middle, putting them out of their misery here on round 8, and intercepting one more as JKS comes barreling down the boiler stairs. And alright, just make it a 4K for Bolts, why not?
Yeah, appropriate time here for Renegades to take this pause. Hopefully this is tack.
It is.
Yes, good. Alright. And actually, Phelps is going to reconnect during this tag, but yeah, stop the momentum of Tempo Storm. Take all the time you can here. Given this is a CT-sided map, a majority of the round should be won by CTs if they can play CT side. But still, I mean, it's 7-1 right
like they
now.
have to clarify.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's
there
some
have
teams
been teams.
that
Yeah, we won't
they
name
can't
names.
play CT side and they will lose. But then all of a sudden they switch T side and they play it like gods. But generally, it is a very CT-sided map. Renegades at this point, though, I mean, they want to get out of this half with 4 or 5 rounds. That would be preferred, but who knows if that's going to happen. Tempo Storm, just momentum-based team. Momentum is carrying them through these rounds, and they are just mopping up anything Renegades is doing. But the good thing out of it for Renegades, though, is they are getting bomb plants, so they are recouping some money. We're back onto how many rounds in a row is that? That's 3-round loss bonus. So they're going to be able to full buy here if they can prevent Tempo Storm from going to 8-1. Maybe string that into 2. It'll take, well, only 2 rounds, and they could force Tempo Storm into a save. So,
And we did get some insight back at that IEM Taipei event when Sponge was on the desk there talking about their team's mentality and when they will take the tactical pauses. And they said they go down anywhere between like the 6-0, 7-1, 8-0 range. They will just take a pause, and they don't even necessarily need to talk about what they're going to do, what strat they're going to call. Like, they can just go into the playbook and get that, but they will just take the time to just sit, take some deep breaths, reset, and come into it refreshed and playing better. So that's most certainly the situation they're in right now. Of course, they probably are maybe talking over some strats a little bit if they want to add any extra flair to them. Some spicy nades, I don't know. JKS still hasn't bought yet. Curious what that's about.
running to the bathroom. No, hopefully they can get something good going on here.
Actually,
it's going to be a full buy for them. I mean, this would be the time that you need to string in 2 or 3 rounds in a row. Really, I mean, 3 rounds, put yourselves at 4 from T side. That's not bad. This is your map choice. So, I mean, you don't want to be held to 1 or 2 rounds from T side no matter what. I mean, that's... Given it is CT-sided, but still, only 1 round, 2-round buffer, anything could happen. I mean, you drop a pistol round at that point, and all of a sudden, boom, Tempo Storm in second half has worked themselves into match point. Off of just a pistol round loss.
There we go. Looking for the apartments control. Sponge throwing in the dark room Molotov. It'll be bright now. JKS, you can see him pre-firing the corner, and apartments has been taken. And also vying for some control here at the top of Banana, but Lucas! Man, he's caused them so much pain in this game. Spraying up through the smoke, will come away with 1 kill. Man advantage now to Tempo Storm.
Yeah, I'm trying to trade that out through the smoke, though. Almost catches Lucas, just barely missing off to the side of his head as the rest of his team is working towards the A bomb site. They do have smokes up in mid. There is going to be 3 players in their way, and man, N1 barely escapes with his life there. believe the repeat was Yam, ends up legging him, and if Yam would have been a little bit more on point with that shot, he would have just shreked Hen 1, had themselves an entry towards the B bomb site with only Lucas to deal with, but Lucas has been holding well. Look at Phelps, lined up in CT spawn, takes down the first players coming through jungle, but quickly gets traded out by JKS, so they do have a pinch here towards B. I'm surprised there's not a faster rotate coming out from Tempo Storm.
Well, smoke wall will go down, actually on both sides, allowing them to get forward. But as Sponge tries to get up over the grill, Lucas will take him down. That's his second frag on the round, and there were always 2 players still in the site, so the rotation wasn't really even that necessary. You can see they took no more damage after Phelps went down. So everyone survived on the site even. 8-1 now on the pause, rendered ineffective. How often we talk about the power of the pause, and that is now even more worrisome. But they will have another chance. Decent amount of money left over as they've bounced into the we are terrorists. We have max round loss bonus. We're buying and forcing every single round.
I like it. Everyone spams Kobe and one person spams Curry. I like it. I'm feeling it. I like the
It's got to change soon.
Draining them threes.
Yeah.
Just drain those bad boys all day long. Breaking his own records. Kid's a beast. But Renegades now, to an extremely broken buy. They're able to collect 1 frag. That's going to be a rifle. Was picked up. Sponge had it. But here comes the trades, and Tempo Storm is holding this A-bomb site until Azza ends up finding himself a frag. The Moto players will both get mowed down by Azza and the tech in hand. So it's just going to be Azza versus Hen 1. Is Hen 1's off faster? He ends up legging, but it's not enough. Azza will take him down. And Renegades on these 4-subs are getting lucky here, going fast, and putting the pain in the face of Tempo Storm, and they're coming away with wins because of it. So both rounds they won were from 4-subs. So,
and that's not too surprising, right? Because we see them playing their default routine extremely slow and methodical, getting top banana control, getting apartments control, and maybe failing to get that pick, going down a man, and then unable to get themselves together, hit another shot, and maybe open up the round and claw it back. It hasn't happened, but when they are on these force buys and they change with the pace and they just run at you and go a little bit faster, throw a smoke, throw a flash, and pull out a Tech 9, it has got them some success. But that's not sustainable success, right? Because now you have won a round, you've reset that bonus, and if Tempo Storm, who are still well-funded to have their utility, have their op on N1, you lose here and you're giving up so many rounds. Like, the half is going to be over. Even fighting 4 rounds will be tough for Renegades. So round 11, the most important one yet for them.
yeah, don't want to get hard reset here. And man, Sponge takes the first shot down. That's Bolts down in the pit. But Showtime playing up from the graveyard. Well, not graveyard anymore, but ends up getting 1 before he's traded out. And look at Phelps inside the bomb set. They don't sniff him out. He's able to prevent the bomb plant. Ustillo has to go on the trade. That is only going to leave Azza alive here. 1v2. Azza's worked all the way around towards Library, trying to work up through the smoke, and Moto this might be a little ill-advised because Lucas is looking for him. They spot each other, and Lucas comes away with the victory. That will be Tempo Storm, preventing Renegades from getting 2 rounds in a row. And that is a rough look for Renegades. As you can see, no money in the bank, no gas in the tank. They are going to have to work here. 4-sub at this point again. And, yep, there it is. Sponge already with the force, and they are going for it.
Oh, there it is.
Honestly, is Semphis calling for them right now? I'm feeling it.
I mean, at a certain point, everyone turns into that, right? Someone will get tilted enough that it's forced by every round. Oh, man. Renegades did look good on this map, but we've also... well, who did they actually play this map against at the... I can look this up. I don't even know why I'm asking the question. They played it against Dignitas. That was right, but it was Dignitas that just absolutely, completely didn't show up to the MLG qualifier. And maybe that's what made Renegades look so good, because you go back a little bit further, and it was the Mongols who obliterated, wasn't it like 16-2 against Renegades on Inferno?
It was rough.
Might be finding themselves in that same situation. Only 2 rounds up, and now starting this force buy trade. It can be dangerous as N1 man shooting through slivers here, and Lucas, he has been so good. That still puts him at 16-4 right now. Generally, he's like the quiet person on this team that has the hard role of entry fragging and playing sites solo and not generally putting up numbers, but he's repping some shots over here. He's been so good at B, and he's been great on the rotations over at A, and I stand corrected. Well, he died, so 16-5. I guess I was right at the time.
Yeah, and again, we're getting into that situation I was talking about here. Renegades need 4 rounds. I mean, 4 to 5 from T side. Because, say this half ends this way, 13-2, if Tempo Storm wins out. Now Renegades, if they drop the pistol round, they are absolutely burnt. They're forced into a force-up second round to prevent match point already, or maybe they just save all the way to the 3rd round and just actually fight for the tie to try and go to overtime. That's not where you want to be. They need to pick up these last rounds. And Showtime is not going to allow that to happen. At least for this round.
Yeah, no one's getting up the stairs today. 11-2. Money is decent. It won't be everyone with full names, but most of the important ones at least. JKS is pretty poor. He'll have $700. He'll go for an incendiary. 2 incendiaries, actually. And if they're actually... gotta stop saying actually. They can either go B, have that oranges, maybe dark, with the Molotovs, or take mid control with those Molotovs, or apartment control, which we actually have seen them do a couple times. So let's see how they use them early on in this round.
Into round 14, Tempo Storm, still of course on the full line, and Phelps is absolutely catching Sponge, trying to work his way up, gets the boost, Showtime again, at the stairs, that's 2 rounds in a row, playing aggressive onto the stairs, finding frags, and actually Phelps is going to peek out again, out towards mid. He goes for another one, getting a little too greedy, and Azza will pick him up, punish him for his greediness, trying to steal away those frags, but now Tempo Storm does have control of the bomb. It's in the window room, just right on the inside of balcony. They know where Azza is. He's going to try and play out, but that is going to be a hit and one. Takes the op shot, not feeling it, pulls the pistol, strafes out, finds the frag. That'll be 12-2 as we hit the final round of the half, and Renegades desperately need this round.
Both teams seem to have the same idea on that round, and it was the very last situation that I proposed for the Molotovs. That's what it was. They went over into the apartments looking for apartment control with those. Bomb actually went up into window room after they mollied out the dark, but Tempo Storm were also vying for apartment control. Very aggressive CT presence there, and Renegades just got blown out of the water. That was kind of hard to watch, and here we are into the last round. Will it be 12-3 or 13-2? Both are bad, but one is significantly better than the other. And here's Sponge with a headshot. 2 kills, actually.
Ooh, yeah, finding the strafe shot, actually backpedaling to take down Showtime. There's Phelps stepping up, though. He knows that it's going towards the B bomb site, but JKS works his way through jungle. It's final round and a half, so Hen1 doesn't have a choice.
Wins
He's
these.
got to go for it. Yeah, if he wins this 1v3 with the bomb plan, it's got a timer on him now. That would be masterful.
It's been spotted and delayed, so things will be difficult.
Yeah, Hen1 trying to work his way up Banana. He's already at the top, has the op. They know exactly where he is. Doesn't really have a choice. No one's really got to peek him here. Well, doesn't really have to. They don't. They're not going to. Hopefully, they don't. Don't give him a chance, and they do kind of start peeking. He does have a kid, but time too low at this point. Finds another shot. Can he make it 3? Let's see if he can get all 3 frags. He's not going to win the round, but can he make it all 3 frags?
All that matters.
He does get all 3. Can't win the round. Time was too low already, and that will be 12-3. So Renegades does pick up a 3rd round. So if they do lose the pistol, they still have the safety net. They're not completely burnt right off the bat.
It's just a kind little reminder there from N1 saying, you better not peek me just because time is getting low. Like, I hit these shots, you'll respect me, you know? Well, actually, maybe he shouldn't have sent that reminder, because it's actually better that he doesn't remind them, and then he really punishes them and takes away a round from them.
In a winning round?
Yeah, what slick shooting there from N1. The man continues to impress. I liked everyone as well earlier saying, back in map 1, they're like, Fallen stopped streaming, and then Tempo Storm started winning. Coincidence? I love this ongoing meme that Fallen is just playing for N1. Like, it's impossible that 2 people could have worked hard to become fantastic world-class oppers. Maybe
right.
N1 doesn't get world-class yet, but pretty soon. A couple more events, and he's certainly slated for that title.
But that's half. That'll be 12-3 in favor of Tempo Storm. Round 16 will be underway shortly, waiting for everyone to ready up. And again, Renegades desperately need the pistol round here. Build themselves up a little bit of a buffer, get some rounds under their belt, get some momentum going on the CT side, and prevent Tempo Storm from just having just an extremely dangerous T side, which we know they're going to have. But if you can get ahead of that momentum train early on, that'll help out a ton. I still think it's going to be a near impossible comeback for Renegades to make happen, but stranger things have happened.
And who are we waiting on, actually? 2 more players to ready up, and we'll start the second half. Actually, let's throw some data into this one, see if we can't anticipate what's going to happen. Looking over at Inferno, it's not really a surprise that Renegades will win more of their rounds on the CT side. That's pretty much just how Inferno works. But it's actually Tempo Storm, so this will be the more meaningful. They have a really good, they actually win the majority of their rounds on T-side Inferno, so that's not good. That's not good for Renegades.
No, that's not going to bode well when you're trying to make a comeback from CT and Tempo Storm's better side is T side. It's not good, especially since they just went 12-3 on you.
Yeah. Granted, it's not the strongest teams that Tempo Storm have played, pretty much just all NA teams. Actually, EFrag is the only European team, and that was a 16-13. Recently beating Obey Alliance in a best of 3. Obey did actually take a map off of them, though, which was pretty impressive. So Obey is definitely a team to look out for with or DSR is a player to look out for on that team. And I think is Breezy still on the team as well? Either way, shout out to those guys. We're into the second half. We've done it. We filled the time.
There we go, pistol round. Very important for Renegades. I've been talking about it, been harping on them about it. Hopefully they can make a game out of this. I'd love to see map number 3. I'd like to see what Tempo Storm can try and do against Renegades on Mirage. That would be our random map if this best of 3 does make it that far. But Tempo Storm, this is a huge lead for them to completely blow. And if Renegades come back from that, that would be very disheartening for Tempo Storm.
Did you just say an opportunity to completely blow?
To completely blow it, yeah. Which is, yeah, it's the opportunity to completely blow it. Blow.
I didn't hear it, and I was just like,
blow.
Right.
Emphasis on blow.
Whoa. Another slow pistol round. That's been the staple, actually, for these teams. The Tempo Storm went a little faster on Cobble, but at least on the T side, as they kind of dictate the pace.
Ooh, Azza with a nice shot taking down Phelps. They're still trying to find some traction. Bolts has already made it into the pit. Bomb is going to be down. Azza grabs another one. This is how they need to start this round. He needs his teammates to come in and help him. He stays up somehow. They're going to turn this into a 4-on-1 with Bolts in the pit. They expect it. They know he's there. And that is Sponge getting 3 frags in the pistol round. And if you're Renegades, that is exactly how you need to start this. Let's get these 2 anti-ecos now, boys, and then get into those gun rounds and hope for the best.
Well, that's step 1 of a infinite staircase.
Long process.
Remnant.
Very, very long process.
It reminds me of Super Mario 64 when you don't have enough stars to get up to the final level with Bowser. That's what Renegades are facing right now.
It is just going to be an anti-eco coming out for Renegades, and they're very aggressive, pushing down Mid and Banana. They're just out in the open, taking the fight to Tempo Storm, not trying to let Tempo Storm gain any traction here. And if Tempo Storm would come away with this, that would be absolutely heartbreaking for Renegades. They get a lot of guns out of this round, but Renegades in great positions here. They're very aggressive. Tempo Storm knows it, so they're going to be trying to play these angles, see if they can catch anybody a little off guard. They're going for Ustillo. They take him down in mid. Here comes an Execute. They're working their way out off alternate mid, and they got to be careful. They have tons of members from Renegades alive down in mid. It's actually a 2-on-1 now. Showtime, last man standing, does have the bomb on his back.
That almost got a little messy over there at middle. But Sponge was able to save the day with some pretty quick work with the FAMAS, bringing down 2 players. And a Showtime, I mean, a ton of time to work with. He will show us what he's got coming out of Boiler. AKS at that angle. Oh, does decide to give it up, though. Showtime still hasn't decided. He's checking everything, trying to come away with 1 more kill, even it up to a 1-on-1. has found himself a FAMAS, so he's armed and dangerous. He's actually got the advantage over JKS right now. Well, in terms of weaponry, but JKS with the position. Let's go. Come on, someone.
Ooh. JKS in the pit. He's going to be able to get... No, he's not. Showtime parks himself in the corner. Does JKS get aggressive by himself? He does get aggressive. Showtime can't figure out where the shot's coming from. JKS will collect the round win. Swaps out his SMG for FAMAS to save into the next round. But that was extremely costly for Renegades. That's going to be 3 rebuys that they have to make, given its SMGs and FAMAS's that they dropped. But still, early into this thing, spending a lot of money. Tempo Storm getting the bomb plant given was a pistol armor upgrade for them. And again, they're going to be able to pistol here and get some nades. So let's see which bomb site they try and blow their way into.
Yeah,
Below.
or... Let's get away from that word. As
It's fun now. That's all
who
I can
will
think
be
of
the
is say below.
unfortunate counter-terrorist to say hello to 5 HE nades? Alright, nobody. But I like the idea, right? It looks silly because no one's there, but one person, maybe even 2, decide to cross mid on that round, and they're immediately just dead. That would have been insane.
Tempo Storm taking a lot of damage here. Renegades is going to shut this down. Pushed up, and that is going to be JKS and his teammate as a pushing down Banana, collecting all the frags from Tempo Storm. That'll be round 19 now that we're going to get into. Scores 12-6, so Renegades only down by 6 rounds now, so the comeback is not so momentous. They got those first 3 rounds, but all-important first buy round will come out. Renegades, another one that's going to be very important. Well, at this point, when you're down 6 rounds, every round is very important. But
yes,
this first full buy round, because we talked about it, Tempo Storm so momentum-based, kind of seems like if you can get in their heads a little bit, start making them make bad decisions, which doesn't happen that often, but it can. Then you can steal away some good round wins. Let's see if Renegades is able to do that.
well, they've got a heavy presence. They've actually boosted up onto the porch, and they won't get in control for the most part, but in the end, Tempo Storm are able to get more men up there, and they trade out evenly. Ustalo not expecting one more over here on the porch. And it's going to be up to Bolts, and you can see the head just can't quite hit it. Peeks out to get the angle, but there's JKS securing the round. He's making his rotation over from Arch. Hits the shot, and well, it was somewhat expensive for Renegades, losing 4 people, but they win it, and it will give them a bit of a breather and a chance here to pick up some money with that submachine gun and keep everyone alive to build their economy, which building that economy is almost the most important thing on the comeback, so that if you do lose a rifle round, you can afford another one and not just get reset.
Yeah, Tempo Storm, though, they don't have a lot of pressure on him here. So losing these early rounds, maybe losing 4, 5, 6 rounds to Renegades, doesn't really put a lot of pressure on them. They already have map number 1 in the bag. They have, well, now it's not 6 rounds anymore. Now it's only 5-round advantage that they have. So if they do drop 2 rounds in a row, it doesn't really hurt them. But Yam is going ham out in mid, or excuse me, in the boiler room with the submachine gun in hand. Takes down 2 players, goes down to 16 HP. Tempo Storm pistol upgrade here, not paying off.
Phelps will come away with a 1D, taking Sponge out of Moto, and Azza was there from CT to clean it up. Here's JKS stopping anything, stopping the shenanigans over at B. No bomb to be planted, and, you know, somewhat expensive for Tempo Storm. I think everyone had deagles, call it a deco, and now Tempo Storm back out into a full rifle. But Renegades this time also with a full strength. Last time they had 2 FAMASs and were still able to prevail.
As a full buy-up will be coming out from Tempo Storm. Again, not a lot of pressure on them right now since they have the advantage. Now it's shrunk down to 4 rounds. So Renegades itching for that comeback. They can feel it at this point. Yam is going to be the one coming out with the op. Let's see if he's able to find anybody. He does have Hen 1 down deep into T-spawn. Boosted up, I believe, or jumped up on this haystacks back there. As Bolts is in front of him. Phelps in the pit. As we're going to have the rest of the team, that's going to be Lucas and Showtime trying to work up alt. So Tempo Storm trying to work this one a little bit slower, trying to get some picks out of this and not just bail directly into the Renegades players who are playing very, very good now from CT side.
Yeah, but Tempo Storm are going to eventually realize that Renegades are playing 4 at A. That's ultimately why they lost the first rifle round as well. It was JKS solo man at B, and he'll be here again. And he's not pushed down Banana far enough that if he dies without causing crazy damage, this rotation will be slow. but Azza will jump the gun and rotate over. Now more standard setup here for Renegades.
Yeah, they're going to rotate that one player over towards the B bomb site. 2 are going to be there. It's going to be up to these 2 players from Tempo Storm at the A bomb site to make a lot of noise here. If they can find a frag, pull that fast rotate out of the B bomb site. No, they're not even going to do that. They're not going to try and stick this at B, get some frags at A. They already gained some traction out in mid. They're going to leave 1 player at B while the rest of them, the other 4, are trying to work up. And that's Yam with the op. Finds the first shot, takes down the Opper from Tempo Storm as the trades go out. Bolts is going to be forced on the rotate to try and help his team out, but just like that, Bolts picks up 1, Phelps with the other. They're so lit inside the bomb site. They're so lit everywhere. Azza and JKS are going to be at full HP. Just spams down Phelps through the box easily. Now we have a 2-on-2.
Oh, unfortunate for Yam. Hit a player through the light post. I hate that light post. Yam probably hates it more than me now, but Lucas get him on the run-up. Bolts as well. Both players attacking together and both just getting erased. Lucas and Bolt each having a 2K in that round. It's 13-8, but this was that important part of the comeback. Renegades did do well, and they built up their money, so another rifle round to come out for them here into round 22.
Guns up on both sides, as Renegades did, as Helium was talking about earlier. They built enough economy, so when they do drop around, they had enough to get a full buy out of it. And Yam, once again, going to try and peek out mid, going to see if he can find anybody. Doesn't over peek here, does eat the grenade thrown by Phelps, though. That's going to be a little bit of damage onto him, but he does have the op, so doesn't really care if he drops 40, 50 HP in one hit, because he can still poke his head out and get that one tap shot done with the op.
Tempo Storm, they've got the banana control. Bomb's still down on the T stairs, and they have kind of pushed players back of mid, right? They gave Yam a nade, they signed his name on it, and they threw it at him. That pushed him back off, and they did, it looks like, throw a smoke at the top of mid, which has then pushed Sponge back into the site. Ustio still up here onto the balcony, but we can see that Tempo Storm very much want to just go in for this B take. How patient will Yam be? Will he realize that they are leaving a lurker in the form of Lucas over here? And I think he saw that smoke go over. Lucas should know someone's here. But peeks straight into the crosshair of Yam. So Yam, easy shot for him, and now the execute being slowed down because of this smoke that has gone down in response for Renegades. And Azza standing in front of it, able to find 2, flashed and now pushed back behind the wall of smoke. AKS lining up some more, will not let them come through. And the CT defense, it's looking good here for Renegades.
I just kind of went directly into the blender there. JKS holding very well with Azza right next to him at that B bomb site. Renegades, stalwart defense there, not allowing Tempo Storm to gain any traction. No bomb plant for them. Again, that's only 1 round for Tempo Storm. So, instantly into a save. No rounds in a row. They don't get to build their own economy. But Renegades, again, gonna try and have to work back that economy in their favor. They're only down by 4 rounds now, as Tempo Storm has only picked up 1 T-sided round, which is surprising considering once we looked it up, Tempo Storm is stronger on the T side, and Renegades kind of stunning us a little bit here.
What was that? That nade was sick. I've never seen that before. I don't even know if he meant it to do that, but it wrecked a couple players as they were coming up. And now here's Yam. You know, warm that op up, right? You're going to need it here on the CT side. He's come away with 3 kills already. And once again, Tempo Storm trying to push through a smoke, and it's all falling apart. But just pistols, no armor on that round, and the comeback is certainly alive at this point. Renegades into the double digits, only 3 rounds behind Tempo Storm, who might actually take a save again, probably spend a bit of money, but not enough for a full buy. Tech 9s will come out, and here are some smokes as well as armor on a few players.
Round 24 underway. Guns up in the hands of Renegades as they're building their economy. As you can see, all their players getting up there now. Lowest economy is going to be 2,900 on JKS. They need to build that, because most assuredly they will drop another round. They want to be able to buy 2 times in a row off of that, or buy right after a loss to prevent Tempo Storm. Every time they can do that and Tempo Storm resets their loss bonus, they just get completely hard reset. They don't have cash buy in another round, so off that 1 win, you can turn that into 2, which is what Renegades needs. I mean, at this point, they're only down by 3 rounds. They're so extremely close to being able to tie this game up, let alone be able to take it over.
So what can Tempo Storm really do? We see the 1 round where they tried to have an execute on B, and it just got shut down so completely. you know, Lucas, I think they were relying on Lucas in that round to get the kill at mid first and then execute onto B, maybe have pulled a rotator, but Lucas goes down, then a smoke goes down, and some unfortunate timing for Tempo Storm makes them look rather silly on that last rifle round we saw. And here they are taking their time, but what, you got a couple flashes, and here they go. They will have to take mid control off of this, or they will have no chance. Smoke gonna go down. That's gonna block off a player in pit. That gives Bolt so much space to work with, taking advantage of it, but Yam still over at Arch with that op and one trying to clear out pit with an angle through this truck. Meanwhile, everyone else on the team side, he will catch you still on reload. And okay, didn't finish the reload, so he's got to go back and put some bullets in that M4. Nearly went down, but they did plant. So, money and a gun to be saved here for N1. Actually, ultimately, pretty solid round in terms of economy, but it's Renegades with a win and that much closer to tying it up.
Not bad at all. Tempo Storm able to get a bomb plant out of it. Just some pistol upgrades come out from them. They do save the 1M4, so it's going to be a full buy that comes out as Renegades is only 2 rounds down now. Tempo Storm doesn't really seem to have an issue getting into the bomb site. It's just post-plant positioning, or actually getting the bomb planted after they gain control of it. They end up just getting rotated on so hard by Renegades. Renegades is shooting like a completely different team. Yam's off, it's working, and there is the proof. Yam takes down Bolts. Worked his way all the way up to the wood stack, ends up just getting melted. Yam goes on to 45 HP to collect the frag, but that puts Tempo Storm a player down as Renegades holding firm here until Ustillo actually goes down below porch there. JKS has got to be careful. He has Tempo Storm players all in front of him. He's going to drop the smart Molotov back up towards jungle, have a teammate rotate over, and actually, no, he's going to push back to Moto. Have 2 players in the site or very close to it as the third will be rotating over, and Tempo Storm sniffs it out, already on the rotate back to the B bomb site.
Yeah, they have definitely manipulated the defense here of Renegades and just flying through the smoke. Will they check the first corner under porch? They do not. Yam with the opposite player there is able to get 1 kill for his trouble, but the bomb's going to go down, and Showtime lurking at top of alternate finds Sponge as he tries to rotate across the top of the middle, so 3 on 2. Man advantage here for Tempo Storm, and they do confuse Renegades. They will have themselves around, trying to do a bit of a cheeky boost, and then they give up on it, and as it just goes down, that's an unfortunate series of events there for Renegades. JKS will save.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking. As of trying to get that jump over, doesn't get the boost, ends up just falling out into the open, easily opt there by N1, and that will be a 14th round now for Tempo Storm, but luckily Renegades have the economy to be able to get that second buy in, and JKS, he's going to be able to save the rifle at least for a few seconds longer here. He does have Tempo Storm fully hunting. They're going after him, and considering they just finally won a round, and they haven't got 2 in a row yet from the T side, Hunt might be a little ill-advised, but Renegades has more than enough money to make a full buy here.
The JKS is actually rich. He's got $5,000, $3,000 on Asa, so even if they lose this and have to go up against a match point, at which I would imagine if they get to that point, they will just buy up. So decent amount of money left over. But of course, they want to win here. They've got a full round to work with. Yam's been so good with that op. Can he continue that success? Looks like we will have a battle over at Banana relatively soon. Phelps has pushed up all the way to the logs here. Oh, and he comes away with the kill onto Asa, who I think was flashed out by JKS, but since Phelps was close and under the colonnades there, had no effect on him. So Phelps, free kill, starts off the round.
So Asa down, Bolt goes down to 25 HP. They do get the frag out of it. Phelps actually ends up collecting it. And this will be 14-11 here. Guns up for both teams as Tempo Storm slow playing now. 3 towards Banana, 2 are going to be towards the A apartments, alt mid area, trying to work their way. One's going to be working into the halls. The other one's going to be working towards Boiler Room as Sponge evens things out, makes it a 4-on-4 when he takes down Hen 1, who's kind of lurking over there at Banana, trying to find something. But he does do his job. He holds 3 CTs at B, while only Ustillo is left at the A bomb site. He does find one frag. Can he make it? 2. Lucas will actually end up getting him, but they're going to have great positioning now with a ton of time to find good hiding spots as Renegades is going to long rotate all the way down Banana, and there'll be 2 in pit defending and 1 in the library.
And that's 2 rounds in a row that Tempo Storm have just perfectly manipulated the rotations of Renegades. They're pretty quick to jump on the rotates. And here's the retake. JKS getting that kill will even it up. Phelps has been spotted over at Arch, given quite a few repeaks in there. JKS dealing with the player in pit, does take down Bolts with the headshot, smoke, and onto the bomb. 2 plays 1. Phelps over here, and he'll fall to the spray down of JKS. Big on the retake. He comes away with 3 kills. Rotations are manipulated, but JKS, he doesn't care. He gets revenge, and Renegades find another round. It's 14 at 212. Temple Storm, money in a bit of an awkward place. Some players rich, some players poor.
Yeah, that was a good play there. JKS hitting the shots that he needed to. Yam just barely staying alive, not allowing Tempo Storm to make that or prevent the retake from happening. But it was very close. Very, very close to Tempo Storm getting up to that map point, or actually match point right now, since they did win map number 1. Fast op shot out through mid. Yam is not able to find anything with it, and it's going to be a very fast break up into apartments from Showtime. On the cross, strafing, catches the headshot onto Ustillo. That'll be an instant advantage, 1-man advantage for Tempo Storm.
And that is the Tech 9, ladies and gentlemen. Azza looked like he had an opportunity to spray so many people down, does a bit of damage, but falls. He was in such a good spot to change the outcome of this round, but now it's 5 playing up against the 3 on Renegades. And look at Showtime. You know, what a ridiculous kill. Ustillo has got to be so mad. There's nothing he could have done. Showtime just running full sprint, hits that shot on the cross, and now in a great spot to come around through Library. Will probably make this person pay. Yeah, Sponge not aware of that at all. Was still able to dink him, and Yam will clean up the mess over there, so they're going to save and retreat out back over to the A side. Tempo Storm are moving out from B. Are they going to go far enough to hunt for these kills? Their money's not great, but it would really, really hurt Renegades.
Yeah, Renegades about to be on to match point here, and yeah, Tempo Storm completely committing to the hunt here. Yam's able to find one. He's got to be careful, though. He's got another one working out of Library. He's got one going to be into the boiler room. He hits both the shots so far. Almost makes it a third. Now he throws the smoke down, and that's going to be JPS taking down Phelps, and the hunting party from Tempo Storm gets completely annihilated, only leaving Bolts alive, so that's money that Tempo Storm has to be spending here, but they don't really care. They're on match point now as Renegades. Their economy has dwindled down to not the greatest at this point. They're going to buy what they can to try and stay alive in this. They're going to be fighting for the overtime now.
I mean, that was kind of high risk, high reward for Tempo Storm. You can see that their buy has suffered. Tech 9 and a Galil because they lost so many players right there. But the reward would have been insane. Renegades would have had like 2 rifles and then just everyone else forcing. It would have hurt them so much more. So that's why they try to make that play. But Yam, he has been good with the op since he's gone over to the CC side. And here he is again, going to bring Bolts. Kills the man at Logs. And what will Phelps do? Will he get flashed in? Will he peek this dry? And one back there supporting him, but he's only got a Molotov, so no flash, and they will give up Banana completely.
That's exactly what you needed. We had Yam relatively not in the picture on map number 1. Now all of a sudden he's top fragging for his team, and at least in the beginning of this map, he wasn't doing much with the op either. But as soon as he switched to CT side here, he's been lights out with the op, hitting all the shots they need to. Let's see if he can hit Phelps. Ends up getting the shot baited out. Phelps doesn't get aggressive off of it. I mean, they're already down 2 players. Renegades more than likely going to make this a 15-3 scoreline. Unless Phelps and company has something to say about it here, but Yam already ready with the op. Smoke goes down. He's looking at Azza. I don't think he wanted that smoked.
We're going to jump through it. Phelps, and immediately he's put down. So they realize that's all a bit of a fake, and I think N1 and Showtime losing some confidence here in mid are like, all right, well, I didn't want to play OT. We don't want to go for this. We'll try to keep these guns, but they will get no money. No bomb plant means no money surviving around as a terrorist, but they will keep, of course, their equipment value, so that's $8,800 they won't have to spend.
Yeah, it'd be preferable if Showtime had himself an op, or one of them had an op or an AK, or excuse me, if Hen1 had an op or Showtime had an AK, either way, be a lot more preferable, but actually we see a timeout coming here from Tempo Storm, so tactical timeout.
Actually, like, the bubble is about to collapse, you know? Whatever market it might be for Tempo Storm, they're going to be in an economic depression if they lose another round, and it should be Renegades, as long as they don't falter on their anti-eco rounds or, like, surviving these kind of weird half-life force buys from Tempo Storm, like, be able to push this into OT pretty easily because, as you can see, right, Bolt's with $3,700. He'll be the only other person, and that's AK and armor if he wants that. It's Galil, armor, and 2 nades if he wants that route. But what do you value more right now? Do you want the utility or do you just want the raw firepower? And then Lucas and Phelps are just screwed. They have nothing. Yeah, Tech 9 armor.
They still have the advantage that they still have a few rounds to play with here. We're not out of it yet. Well, they have this and one more round. So at the worst, Tempo Storm is going to allow this to go to overtime, which isn't bad. But, I mean, preferably you'd like to win this 2-0 clean, not allow Renegades a chance to take a map away. And at that point, Renegades will be looking towards map number 3, which will be randomized. And it's actually Mirage.
Which is a map that both of these teams do play. So again, that one could be exciting. And you even called for this, right? Saying that Inferno would be pretty close and perhaps even go into OT.
Should be. It would be, in my opinion, it was the only map that Renegades would win, if they can win. So I think Mirage is going to be tough sledding for Renegades. But, I mean, if Yam keeps playing the way he is, using the op like that, they might have a better time on Mirage, depending on where they put him. But I'm pretty sure he's the catwalk player with the op, so more aggressive out in mid. But that's if we actually make it to map number 3.
Yeah, still a big moment here for Tempo Storm. We saw Renegades back in the first half. They took their pause and really were unable to get anything out of it. I think they took the pause in round 8 because it was 7-1. Never forget. Brazil was winning this time, though, so it was a little bit better from their point of view. They lost round 9. I can't remember how much money they had. It might have been a half buy, but they did win round 10. But then they just reset themselves and lost every other round until the end of the half. So the power of the pause wasn't really there for Renegades. Will it show up for Tempo Storm? And of course, if it does, they just need one more round. And they could just, it might be messy, but they can pretty much brute force their way to run one more round. Even though the money is going to fall apart if they lose, they could just keep Tech 9ing and armoring. And we saw how that worked out for Renegades on Cobble, right? They got actually 2 of their rounds. Actually, a lot of their rounds over there. Just force buying and running. Or no, sorry, was that? Well, Cobble and first half of Inferno. Either way.
One thing I have to say while we're waiting for this to go live, it is, you guys have no idea how unbelievably hard it is to fake this voice 24/7.
Yeah, he does it all the time.
I've
never seen him drop character at LAN.
Never. At LAN, nothing. In the hotel rooms, at the adult beverage places.
The adult beverage places, yeah.
The adult beverage places. Yeah, bars. Yeah.
Yam's killed the man with fire. And one is like, am I gonna burn? Yes, I am. Drop that. Extinguish it real quick. He will stay alive to fight another day, but a nade almost takes it down to 11 HP. Asla gets 1, and well, Bolt's trying to respond back. Oh, and 1. Watch that. Fire! Oh, they're so low. I thought a TK was gonna come out there, but instead, they do find Yam, and the fire is going down. And what is found? The floor is lava.
The floor is lava. It will be a 3-on-3 though. Tempo Storm, N1 and Bolts. No, Bolts is going to be, well, last one now. Can he pick the shot up? Not able to do it. So the timeout doesn't work in favor of Tempo Storm. Renegades pushes this to the final round of regulation. And it will be getting extremely close to that overtime.
Yeah, but this is right. Renegades, they've done so well. They've looked fantastic. Everyone's working together. They're all hitting their shots. They're standing tall on these sites. They're even having crazy retake clutches. JKS had to pull off one. Will it all come crashing down, losing to Tech 9s? I surely hope not, but how often do we see this happen in Counter-Strike?
That was a huge comeback. I mean, that deficit was gigantic. 13-2, or was it? No, was it 12-3? I remember. Yeah, it was 12-3. Excuse me, not 13-2. Yeah, but the huge deficit to come back from. Renegades brings it all the way into the final round of regulation here. All they have to do is hold on. Tempo Storm going to force out everything they can. It's the last round, so they don't really have a choice here. Pistol, armor, upgrade with quite a bit of Molotovs. 3 Molotovs coming out. Got 2 flashbangs, 3 smokes, 1 grenade. So Tempo Storm's going to try and hit a site take together. And if they can get that player on Banana, who's a JKS, the Lone Ranger there for the B-bomb site, that would be huge.
Yeah, we saw Renegades actually very early on in this half with their rifle rounds just putting 4 in A site initially, and this is the problem, right? JKS goes down, he'll give up a rifle, he'll give up the site, and it will be very difficult still for those rotations to come in. It seemed like Temple Storm's not going to peek out in those post-plant spots, but the rotation is coming in, and I believe it's been Azza doing it the whole game, and yeah, it's him again. He's going to get here just in the nick of time, but Smoke's going to go down on the CT, and they're going to push it. Phelps runs in through that way, so he'll be on the flank into the cons. But here's JKS at the new box. They haven't been able to get him out of that position. Showtime and Bolts, though, with the nade actually converts it, and Phelps at the tree. Ustilo caught jumping across. He's going to go down 3 on 2 right now.
Oh, no.
And it's Yam and Sponge left to retake onto the site.
That is rough. It's going to be that 3-on-2 Helium was talking about. It's going to be Yam and Sponge 8. This is for all the marbles. Wow, that came out terrible.
They're playing
Marbles.
for cigarettes.
Yeah, playing for marbles. No. 2-man retake attempt. Yam's going to be the first one up, or excuse me, Sponge is, or Sponge. Wow. Yam is right there. Sponge goes down, all up to Yam. He's going to get crossfired, and Tempo Storm will not drop it.
Oh my god.
15
Unlike
to
Misled.
16-14. Yeah, I am falling apart. Need to go to one of those adult beverage places right now.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, so that keeps us away from Mirage, but gosh, like I had such a bad feeling that was going to happen. You know, you defend for so long, you win all those rifle rounds, you get the key rounds, and then you lose to freaking Tech 9s. Like, how many times does this happen? It seems like too often, but well played. Cobble was certainly the more dominant map overall. If you like a comeback and you're a fan of Renegades, then, well, I guess bittersweet there on Inferno. It was the more competitive map overall, but it does hurt to grind it all the way out to round 30 and then lose 16-14.
I do like the fact that we had Yam show up huge in map number 2. I mean, he was going out of his mind there for a little bit. He finished 24 and 21. He was going out of his mind with the op in his hand, especially once he went to CT side. He was playing great. And I really wanted to see more Yam Hen 1 duels, but that never really materialized. A little bit harder to make happen. Hen 1 never really was aggressive out in mid. Yam was never actually aggressive out in mid either. He just used the angles effectively, catching people coming up from alt and trying to get them out of boiler room. So good job there by Tempo Storm taking that home 2-0. They advance. They will be playing CLG next in the round of 4, whereas Renegades has to look to try and come back into the third qualifier, as there's only going to be 2 more left after this bracket's done. Only 2 more chances to get your spot at the CEVO Gfinity Season 9 Pro League Finals at the Gfinity Studios.
Yeah, so that's all we have for tonight, guys. Actually, tomorrow on the same channel, that's twitch.tv/playcevo. Make sure to follow it. We have the iBuyPower event starting up. And let me just check when those actually start. That's 13 hours from now, so...
Early.
Yeah, like noon-ish? 11 a.m. noonish. We got Renegades actually playing in that, followed by Luminosity, winner of a match of Selfless Winter Fox, and then, yeah, whatever. A ton of action tomorrow, so follow the channel. Come back for that. You can also follow us casters. We'll both be covering that tomorrow. I'm Helium. You can get me on Twitter at Heliumbrella and Misled here at Misled138. And I'll let you close it out. That's all I've got to say. Oh, and Yam had 9 first kills. Most of those on the CT side, but he was playing nuts.
Yeah.
9 is a very high number when it comes to first kills.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, again, guys, it's going to do it for us. Thank you for hanging out with us. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good night, and make sure you're back bright and early tomorrow for the iBuyPower event. We will see you guys tomorrow.